Well, it's been nearly 4 years now since we bought Château de Lalacelle, and what an incredible journey it's been. I don't think any of us, when we embarked on it, would realise that we get to this point so quickly and get to a point where we've got somewhere comfortable to live. Tracy and Jonathan got somewhere comfortable to live. We've got beautiful gardens, we've got a suite completed, but there's so much more work to do. And today is basically a tour so that you can look around, you can see the monumental amount of work that there is still to do, but also the good bits, the bits that we've completed. And it's a look back so that we can show you like where we've come from and where we're going to with it. And our ideas have constantly evolved as we've gone through this process. We've found better ways of working, we've found better materials, we've found better companies that we can work with and integrate the works into the chateau. And it's going to be really important going forward with the amount of work that there is still to do. So let's go and have a look around. There is a mess in there. It is a building site. There is good bits which are nice and pristine clean. There is the bad bits which we're still working on, and then there's the rest of the chateau, and it's dusty and it's dirty, but that's the way that it has to be because we'd lose too many days just keeping this place clean. So bear that in mind as we're walking through today. And in we come to our wonderful entrance hall. Now this was added in 1806. The tower itself was added in 1806. Before that it was just a square build, and that was built in 1724, so it's her 300th birthday this year really. And it's a wonderful space to be welcomed into, and it's somewhere that when we first walked in here we were just blown away by it. We're in the process of replacing the doors, the original 200-odd-year-old doors that are getting replaced because they need to be replaced, and it'll just brighten this space up and it'll make it look just a better place to be, and it'll feel more welcoming coming in. We have a beautiful tiles, original tiles, registered in the Archive in Paris as Lalacelle's design. The rest of them are all standard tiles basically, but they're beautiful, and we know they're beautiful, and we know how they're going to come up. We know how this is going to look when we're done down here. And to the wood paneling that it's exquisite, and to be surrounded by it, it just feels grand and it feels beautiful. And it was one of the reasons we didn't want to just buy a chateau and renovate it basically. If we'd have renovated it, it'd have been done a year ago, 2 years ago, but this is a restoration, and this is why it's so important to us to have found something as beautiful as this place. So let's have a look at the grand salon.
So here we are in the grand salon, and obviously one of our favourite rooms just because of the sheer size of it and the fact that it's the only room that we've got that's got windows on all three sides, and the amount of light that actually comes in this room is just fantastic. Unfortunately, all of these windows are in quite a poor state, so that's going to be one of the jobs that we're going to be cracking on with this year, to get each and every one replaced with double glazing, and then these will be the final ones for the chateau. It'll be double glazed. But some of the features in here as well, obviously we've got all of the original carving. Now all of the ceilings had been replaced in the chateau to put steel beams in, but this is the only room that hasn't, as you can see with the sagging of the beam. But it's got the original carving as well, which we want to try and keep and work around. Now we do know as well from people that have spoke to us that this room was lined with beautiful ornate panelling, but that's something that we want to try and incorporate back in the future. Floor, we've got a massive amount to do because we've been running plumbing, and when we had an inspection when we bought the chateau, the people came in and they caused quite a lot of damage when they came and done an inspection. So they took up all the parquet flooring, they chopped in the panelling, they chopped in the walls. So we're going to have to go back and sort of restore all these sections. And the reason they've done that is because when you buy a property in France, obviously you get an inspection, and their job is just to inspect the property. So they're not bothered about these bits. They just want to get to the root of the problems. So rip up the parquet flooring, pull off the panels, they're not fussed. So when you're looking around and you see quite a lot of the damage, it's purely from that and from water. So we'll move on to the next room now and show you what's going on in there.
And that brings us into the billiard room. Now, again, this was our first point of entry when we first entered. We entered through, you may remember, the doors that were falling in at the time, and they were awful. And it was a case of climbing into a building that had squatters in it. There was people staying here and plants going through the walls. It was an unbelievable mess, but again, it was an unbelievable time of excitement for us because we realised that this place was never going to sell for the value that they wanted it, and it made this dream start to become possible and feel possible. And this, for me, this would have been the old entrance to the chateau. This is, well, it's still the entrance to the chateau. It's here. And this, for me, it's the only place logically in my head that I can see stairs originally being in here before the tower went on, before the stairs were added. Whether that's right or not, it's just the only thing that seems to make sense to me in here. But again, we've got grand plans for here. So when you're staying in the chateau, you'll be able to come get your breakfast down here. And we've got some beautiful furniture and ideas to make this place really grand. So when you stay in here, it's nice and special for you. And we're looking forward to getting down to this floor because this is where it's really going to start coming to life. And on we go into the dining room. Now, it's set out differently because we've had open days and stuff. We've had things being done in here and other things going on. But again, the beauty of the wood in here, the beauty of the paneling, the originality of it all as well. And this room's changed so many times over the years as well. We know that was an entrance. We know that was an entrance coming into the dining room, whether it be from the cave, whether it be from outside, but it was definitely something important. You can tell with the paneling when the doors open, there's been a lot of time spent. And underneath us here is the original 1300s manor house kitchen. So it's completely original, all in stone, and everything's been built up on top of that. Now, in the early 1900s, Mr. Polino moved the kitchen upstairs, so took it from the cave underneath us and put it in here. And you can see he had a lot of servants at the time. They would have had a set of double doors to come straight from the little kitchen that's up here now into the dining room so that they could be served. And we're going to use it again, not particularly that entrance, but we're going to use this as the dining room so people come and enjoy the chateau basically. And now we'll show you the other little bits that we've got.
So this is where it starts getting quite bad for the chateau, with obviously the amount of work that needs doing and the actual rooms. So currently we're in sort of like a little vestibule room. Now, when we've been speaking about people that actually worked in the chateau, this area was purely just for sort of a log store. So under the window here, there was a big sort of cupboard which had a lift up top, and all of the logs for all of the open fires were all stored in here. And I think it was just sort of like a through room for the entrance hall and the dining room. So obviously when the people were here serving the food or whatever, it was just a room to go between. So we're not too sure exactly what we're going to do with this in the future. I think we might look at doing it as like a sort of little reception area. So when guests come, we can bring them in here to sort of check them in and anything like that really. It's a perfect room. It's just off the entrance hall and it's not really big enough to actually do anything with it being off the kitchen and the dining room. So talking about the kitchen, so this is currently one of our worst rooms, with a mountain of bits that I've bought from Brockhants that have just had to be moved in here from our opening day. But just the amount of work that needs doing. So we had quite a lot of damage around the windows. We've had to replace beams in here. The ceiling, there's quite a lot of rotted beams in there, so we've had to replace them. But luckily, we've got all of the original tiles. So like Ash said, when the kitchen got moved up into this room, they've obviously tiled the whole lot with these beautiful cement tiles. And then for some reason, they've gone over and painted them all white. So we'll probably look at getting all of the white paint off, getting them back to the sort of sandy colour that they are, and then use this as a kitchen for the actual business. And this'll purely just be to serve guests with, and then hopefully further down the line we'll be able to create a beautiful grand kitchen in the vaulted ceiling in the cellar. So yeah, that's all this level done. So what we'll do now is we'll move on upstairs and show you where the work has been sort of really happening, which is exciting. So let's get on now. So this actually is a workshop for us. So we've got all of our tools up here, and this is the sort of landing area for the second floor. And this is purely all for guests when they come. So this is going to be their entrance hall with a suite either side. So we've got the 400 and the 401. Now we're wanting to sort of create this as a sort of beautiful, elegant entrance hall for the guests. So when they come in, not only are they going to be wowed with the entrance downstairs, but when they come up, they're greeted with something special here. Now, if you'd seen in one of our previous videos, we've seen a beautiful Louis XV mirror, which we're hoping to try and get to place on here. And I think that's going to be the sort of centerpiece, which is going to welcome guests up here, especially with like a beautiful Louis XV buffet unit on the bottom. And then we'll have two small chandeliers, which are only sort of like ceiling chandeliers. So they're only going to be about that sort of size, not too over the top. But then actually in the stairwell for the chateau, we've got a beautiful 2.5 meter chandelier that's going to fall from the center all the way down and greet guests on this sort of second level. So when you come out of your suite, you see this beautiful crystal chandelier just falling down, which is good. But now we'll go on to the first part, so the restored part, which is the 400 suite, and we'll show you all the work that's been going on in there.
Well, coming into our first guest suite, so this is the 400 suite, and it doesn't matter what we do in videos, how much we show you, how much we pan around, how much we scale in, how much we do, we can't show you how good this suite is, and there isn't a person that's been here that hasn't said that. The videos just do not do it any justice. And this is, again, to see this from the start to where this has become, I could never envisage it. Terry's always had the vision in his head and he knows exactly what he wanted from this. But I couldn't see it, and to see how grand it is, how beautiful, and how well it's held up as well. It is out of this world. So loads of little things in here. Again, beautiful wardrobe, you'll have heard. Plans change, plans evolved. So we have the wardrobe here, coat rack, whatever you want to call it. And it's just it did just finish this room off. The old one, it wasn't quite right, and this just feels a better fit. This used to hang in our old house. This was in our little house in England. The light switches, which we couldn't source from anywhere in the world except Australia, and some amazing friends brought them over for us. Every little piece in here, everything here has a story, because when we bought this place, there wasn't even a door handle on the doors. There was nothing left. It was an empty bare shell. So every single piece of furniture, everything that you see has a story, and that's what makes it really special to us, because we haven't inherited any of this. It's literally been a case of we've gone out, we found it, well, Terry's found it, and we've gone out and got it, and it's just made it really special to us, and this is why we love it so much. Let's go and have a look at the salon.
So this is the petit salon for the 400 suite. Now, again, now it's fully done, is one of my favourite rooms, purely just because of the meaning for the rooms. So the colour we've had created, or should I say recreated, this colour was taken from the RMS Olympic, which was Titanic's sister ship, and this was from the Grand Staircase when they had a refit in 1930. Now, accompanied with the gold, it just gives you that beautiful sort of period elegance. So it's not too in your face, it's just sort of refined elegance, and it's just so nice when you actually sat in here. Again, the camera won't do it any justice when you see the actual colour, because it's got so much depth to it. Now, the ceiling design was one of the first ones that I created here for the Chateau, and this was taken from the gentleman's smoking room from the Olympic as well. Now, that was all handmade, all on the ceiling, and we went over it with plasterwork. So technically it is plasterwork ceiling, and to be honest, considering this is the first one that I've ever done, it's turned out fantastic. I'm so pleased with it. So now what we'll do is we'll go into the bedroom, which is a completely different style and something that we wanted to sort of reflect the history of the Chateau. So this room has been sort of the most amount of work that we've done here over the 400 suite. So we've had to completely strip everything that was here in the bedroom. So we did have original wood paneling in here, which was quite damaged. So we were missing this whole section, and we were missing parts here and there, and it wasn't in fantastic condition. So we took the decision to remove all of the panel so we could use elsewhere throughout the Chateau with the damaged paneling and create something completely different in here. So once all that was done and all of the mould and woodworm and everything was tret, we lined all of the walls with insulated plasterboard and set about recreating a sort of elegant Louis XV styling. Now the Chateau's got links to the Bourbon family, as we know, so we wanted to sort of reflect that history with it, and that's why we went with the Louis XV style with it. Now everything that you see in this room has just been recreated from us, from the mouldings, from the tremone to the furniture. Everything has been put in here and we've sourced. None of this was actually original to the Chateau, but we wanted it to actually look like it had always been here. So keeping the original mirror with the Mercury coming off the back, and having the wall sconces where obviously they're clean but they're not overly clean. We wanted to keep that because we wanted to make it look like it's been here for sort of a couple hundred years really, all the way down to the light bulbs. So all the light bulbs we've got, we've painstakingly painted every single one, just so it gives that nice sort of ambient feeling when you're in the room. But yeah, I think this is one of the rooms where we're most impressed with the outcome, from what it started to what it's ended with. It's just fantastic. So what we'll do now is we'll go into the final room for the 400 suite, and I think this is the room which everyone's most shocked with. I'm not too sure why, but they absolutely love it. So we'll go and have a look now.
Welcome to the bathroom, and again, this is, well, I've got a bit of pride in this room because this was, of everything else in this suite, this was kind of where I got left to my own devices and got to enjoy it and just take this on really. I've never done tiling before, I've never worked with anything this intricate before, and as we know, the designs weren't that simple with borders and everything else, so it was a real challenge. But this is the room that everyone comes into and they're just like, wow. And for us, like say, when we see the bedroom, that's for us, it's amazing. But everybody loves this room, whether it be the Venetian mirrors, whether it be Marie Therese chandelier that came just near from our home in England where we used to live, which is unbelievable, that we found something that was able to go in here and just looks that good and just completely finishes this room off. And this again, it's about the ambience, the elegance of it, and just being able to come in and enjoy it. And when you sat in this bath and you look out at the views that you get when you sat in that bath are out of this world. It's just a nice place you can relax. And again, it's like the suite, it's made to feel special, it's made to feel nice. And whether it be our little bit of luxury Château de Lalacelle tiles created by Vivian, which we absolutely adore, and everyone notices. Again, it's the first thing you see when you actually walk into this room, and it feels like you're part of something special. And yeah, the next bathroom is going to blow you away though in the 401 suite. So let's go and have a look over that side of the chateau now. And now we're in the 401. And this again, we'll show you the bits that we've still got left to do. So this has still got a massive amount of work to do in here. We've got walls to build, we've got doors to put in, we've got the rest of the plumbing to finish off. Major amount of work, but again, you know us, we'll crack on, we'll bash through it, and we'll have it done in no time. So again, this is going to be a beautiful bathroom, massive bath, beautiful pieces of porcelainware that are going to be in here, and an amazing shower, and it's going to be huge, this one. So people have said about the other one, but we decided that in this one we were going to make a big shower, and Terry has some amazing designs for in here. So whether it be a curved shower top, which he's talking about with me now, and where we are, we're in the entrance hall, so you have to imagine there's going to be a wall here round and a wall here as well. So this will all be completely boxed off into, you won't be walking into a bathroom basically. This is going to blow that suite out the water. We want it to be more extravagant, we want it to be more luxurious, and we know how to do that now, so it's given us a good head start. So let's go and have a look around the rest of the rooms.
So we're currently in the 401 salon, so that's the plan for this room. Now we're trying to get all of the rooms up to the same sort of stage where we're in undercoat, we've got the ceiling work done, and we're all ready for sort of the final paint, colour, mouldings, and get the floors done. Now in here we plan to sort of have it quite sort of French, relaxing. We're going with more of a Louis XVI style in here, so it's going to be sort of like quite straight and structured. Looking for some wallpaper that Chateau de Fontainebleau do. So hopefully we can get hold of that, put that on the wall, and we're going to have sort of like a nice soft grey slash lavender to go with a salon suite that we've got, which is in sort of like a dark purple sort of plum colour. But the ceiling is all done. So we've got the ceiling all finished here in the salon. A couple of little bits left to do on the outside, but the main central part is all done. And we just need to look out for a nice chandelier to fit in here as well now. And then after that, it's all pretty much sorted. We can crack on with the floors and crack on with the wallpapering. So we'll go in the blue bedroom now and we'll show you around there, which is our biggest bedroom that we've got.
Well, this is going to be the master bedroom really. It's going to be the one that's going to blow your socks off. So if you think that the 400 suite bedroom is extravagant and OTT, this is going to be way more, and there's a reason. It's Louis XV, it's meant to be that way, and this is going to be, you're going to feel like royalty staying in here, and that was the whole purpose of doing this. This would have been the master bedroom for the Chateau. We know that because the entrances that were in here and the way that the room was actually laid out in itself. So over the years and years of it being here, you've got the best views here. You can see straight out onto that magnificent countryside. To wake up with that every morning, to be in a room this spacious, and it's palatial. And again, you can't see it on camera, you can't see how big this room actually is, but it's a case of anything that we do in here, the room will take it. It's got the ability to, because of the size of it. And we know that, again, you're not going to feel cramped and enclosed. It's going to feel massive and it's going to feel royal. And Terry's designs are already starting to come to light. So you can see up here that we've got our recessed ceiling, and again that was necessary to basically accommodate the chandelier that's going to have to be put in. And it's a massive chandelier, and it was so that people that are 6'6" tall don't bang their heads on it really. And this is just one or two bedrooms in this suite, so we'll go and have a look at the other one.
So this is the second bedroom that we've got for the 401 suite, and since we came in the Chateau, this was one of the rooms that I was so excited about. Now it just looks like a plain, boring room, to be honest. But as soon as I seen this room, I had an idea of exactly how I wanted it to look. Now, quite a lot of work's already gone into this room, from restoring the panelling where it's all rotted in the corner, to, if you remember, we actually flipped the panels. So this panel was on the top and this one was on the bottom. So we've actually had to flip them to create the sort of design that we're wanting to. Now, it's not going to be stained grey, this is just purely an undercoat, but we've been trialling out some different paint effects. So we're going to be trying to recreate a wood grain effect on every single panel in this room. Now, it'll be accompanied with some beautiful gold mouldings, and it's just to give you that sort of warmth, elegant, Regency feel that we're wanting for this room. Got a couple of the mouldings already on, just to give you an idea of the sort of design work that we're going with, and they'll all be gilded, just to give you that sort of period elegant look really with it. All of the ceiling work's all done as well. So this one's a lot more refined than what the other ones are going to be in the salon and the bedroom for the 401. So this is just going to be more focused on the panel work and the mouldings. This is the last room for this level. So what we'll do now is we'll go upstairs and show you the final level of the Chateau. So here we are at the top of the tower. Now this area has underwent a lot of work from the panelling. So we had parts that were damaged, parts that were missing. We had windows. I think there was only one piece of glass in this whole section up here. And each of them we've had to take out, restore them and put glass back in. And now we've done that, it's just some of the amazing views that we've got here. Just looking out, everyone's just like a painting, because everyone's just completely different and unique. Just looking out over the French countryside, all the way down to Lalacelle. So what we'll do now is we'll go into the 433 suite, which is our personal suite, and show you around there.
Welcome to our petit appartement. And again, living in caravans for 18 months makes you appreciate every single thing that we've got in here, because it was so hard to do when you've got nowhere to live, when you are staying in a caravan, to get well, you've got the motivation to do it, but to see the outcome and to see how comfortable it is, and it was the perfect decision. It was the right choice. It's not overly luxurious. It's just nice for our needs. We didn't want to live in a massive chateau. So this apartment is more than enough for us, and it allows us to do what we want to with the rest of it, to have our chambre de haute, to be able to do all the things that we want to do with the land as well. And the amount of work that's been done up here, so the walls, the ceilings, everything's had to be redone, especially in this room, in our bedroom, because this was horrific. I always remember the ceiling in here. There was a big hole. There's another level above this as well, and there was a flashing point that had failed, and there was water just leaking in literally over where the bed is now. So beams having to be restored, replaced, tret. And again, it's just perfect for us. It's a beautiful space, and it's so light and airy, and we've insulated it so well that in winter we can actually enjoy it up here, and it's a nice space. This is the room where the magic happens. So this is where Terry makes all his videos. It's his little study where he can lock himself away from the world and just focus on making all these amazing videos for you guys. And we have our mum's room, mum and dad's room, and this is their little bit of luxury. It's only been 3 years. Well, 2 years, but Terry's thinking about redoing this room because he wants to make it a little bit nicer for my mum, which is very nice of him to do, but it just involves a little bit more work. And my favourite 2 rooms are down this end. So this is Terry's end, if you like, but I absolutely love our bathroom. And when you've had a hard day's work and you just want to come and relax, this is the place to do it. It is just such a wonderful space. Whether it be want to be a flash in the shower where you can spray yourself all over the beautiful jets, or a long soak in the bath and just admire the beautiful French countryside, we can do that up here, and it's just made it absolutely perfect. And I wouldn't change this room for the world. I absolutely love it. The colours, everything about it is just amazing. Now, my favourite room in the entirety of the chateau. I know Terry likes the bedroom and the other suites, but this is our kitchen. Now, we haven't shown much of this, and you've asked about it, so we thought we'd better include you in it a little bit. This is well, it's my little sanctuary. I like to come up here and cook and eat, and it's just a nice place to be. Everything's perfect. It was so well done, so well designed by the guys at Ixina, that it's made our lives so much easier, having everything that we need. And we can just come in. We've got a little telly in here. We've got a little seating area, and we can just enjoy the space. And when you've had a hard day's work and you just want to sit down, we can do it up here now. So it's absolutely perfect. So we hope you've enjoyed this little look about and got to see all the amazing bits of our chateau and all the amazing ideas that we've got to come as well. So if you have, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you got the bell click for notifications. And we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
If you'd like to be part of our journey and help restore the chateau, then please join us on Patreon, where you'll be part of our journey, receive a piece of the history, and get exclusive videos.